Welcome back to the Beyond the Bench podcast. We are back. We are not even one day. We are less than 12 hours away from the season beginning.
I'm so excited. It's finally here.
And what we're going to do today is we're going to go over our most recent draft. Happened the other night. There's some good things that happened. There's some bad things that happened. My second pick was auto-drafted. Not happy with that.
I think that me and you had very, very similar draft nights.
Mm-hmm.
We're both happy with our team, but there's definitely room for improvement.
Absolutely. And I think who had the first pick? Was it me or you?
Like the first overall or between us?
No, so the first pick between us. So it was you. So
I did. I
started.
I had the 6, yeah. So at the 6, I landed Ja'Marr Chase, which I was very happy with. I thought he was going to go in the top 4. But I guess because his contract holdout, I snagged him because why would I pass up on Ja'Marr Chase? So I got Ja'Marr Chase on the 6th.
Which I think is still, I think it's still a little risky, only because he has only practiced once, and it was yesterday.
Oh, which
so I
don't
know if he's going to play week 1. They still don't even know if he's going to play week 1, but I feel like
they said he will.
Okay.
Yeah, they said he will. At least to my knowledge.
My first pick, I'm also not that happy with, but I took Justin Jefferson.
Why? At the 8, that's solid value.
I just don't. I know that's why I took him, but I just don't know how he's going to perform this year with Sam Darnold.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think I was actually talking to this with one of my roommates last night. I think that Sam Darnold this year is going to have like a Geno Smith type of comeback. I think he's in a new system. I think he's in a new system, new coach, new everything. And everybody's been counting him out. And I have always thought he's not that horrible of a quarterback. He was just in a horrible system. So and I drafted Jefferson in my other league. So me and you are with it. We both need this to do well. But I do think he's just going to feed him. Because they have Aaron Jones as a running back, sure, feed him, and then feed JJ. That's it. That's how you win games.
They do that.
They have Alexander Madison, who's injured right now.
So then I had the next pick, and this is where I auto-drafted. So I think I explained this to Nick. I was at the Mets game. I was trying to pull up the tickets on my phone. One of my friends that was with me is also in the draft, and I told him to let me know when my pick was, and he didn't, and I auto-drafted Puka Nacua.
In the second round, that's I'm sorry, that's not.
He's a second-round player, but I wanted a running back, and Jahmyr Gibbs was taking the pick after me.
Yeah.
So that kind of ruined my mojo for this draft.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that it's not that detrimental of a pick where it'll cost you a championship, but
I don't know. Who knows? I could end up trading him if Cooper Kupp starts doing well. I don't really know yet what I'm doing there.
Yeah,
but I would probably have to trade him early on before his value.
Definitely trade him early on before either one of them gets momentum.
And then who do you end up in? Kyren?
Yeah, so I got Kyren, middle of second round, which I did probably 30 sleeper mock drafts for this. That's where he was falling every single time. So I'm pretty happy. The way that my team fell out in the first 7 rounds is basically what I was getting for sleeper. It's just after the 7 rounds for my kind of draft.
Mine was completely different, and I was struggling.
Yeah, I also did this without my rankings in hand. So
I did this sitting at a Mets game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy with Kyren. I think
Kyren's a good player.
I think he's going to be a top 5 running back. So I'm not upset.
And then I think you once again had the pick after.
I did have the pick after. I went with Michael Pittman in the 3rd round.
Always a good pick.
And honestly, I'm happy with my first 4 rounds. I think that I didn't miss on a player because I wanted Mike Evans, but Mike Evans got taken before. And really the players that got picked after, so the wide receivers were Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, and DJ Moore. I don't want any of them. I think that Michael Pittman's going to do better than all of them.
Who, DJ Moore, or just all of them?
No, it's just all of them.
Oh, I 100% agree.
I think Drake London will maybe put up a fight, but I still think that Michael Pittman's going to do better. So I think that's fine as my wide receiver too.
Who did I end up taking?
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. Sorry, my draft rankings left my screen.
You're good.
So I took Josh Jacobs because I needed a running back and he was the best available. And right before we started recording, I was talking to Nick about this. I don't know how I feel about it, but he was literally the best running back available.
I was telling Christian, I don't think that's a bad pick because A.J. Dillon's out. He was really the main competitor for touches. And even last year, Josh Jacobs wasn't that bad. Yes, he had definitely a regression, but he wasn't that bad. He was kind of inconsistent on the ground, but in a PPR format, they're going to dump the ball to him. He's going to get catches. He's a catch-passing running back. He's going to get a lot of catches.
I was looking. He had very similar rushing stats last year, and honestly receiving stats, now that I'm looking at it, to Rachaad White. Rachaad White had a little more, but I think Josh Jacobs was hurt for a little longer.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs was.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs didn't play the end of the season. He did not play weeks 15 through 18.
Oh, okay, yeah. I had him on my team last year, so. But yeah, Josh Jacobs is not a bad pick.
Yeah, it's not awful. I wish I could have taken a running back in the second round.
That would have been nice because then you could have landed with
Jahmyr
Gibbs, Josh Jacobs stack, which is great. That's basically 2 RB1s.
Yeah. So then with my thinking, I was like, I got screwed in the second round, not happy with my third round. So in the fourth round, I took Sam Laporta, so I had something to be happy about. Because I didn't, this whole draft was completely, different than all the mock drafts I did. I was stressing. I didn't know what to do. So I just picked the best option at tight end, Sam Laporta.
You could have texted me. I could have helped you.
60 seconds is not long enough, especially with the Citi Field Wi-Fi.
That's true.
It wasn't going to be long enough.
Very true. I will be honest with you. I don't like Sam Laporta in the fourth. I think that you can get better value in the later rounds, and then you could have drafted you could have gotten Cooper Kupp, for example. You could have gotten Depot. You could have gotten Kenneth Walker.
I already had those 2 receivers. I especially talking about Cooper Kupp. I already had Puka. I didn't want to stack.
Oh, stack, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. But I mean, I think Sam Laporta is going to be the tight end one, so it doesn't. He's putting up easily 15, 20 points a game, so I think that's fine.
Yeah, it is what it is. I didn't really. That was kind of just like.
What were you projected to come in?
6th.
Okay. For everybody watching, I was projected to come in last. But when I show you my team at the end, there's no way I should be... we have a friend. He's projected to come in first. There is 0 chance in hell that man is coming in first.
Is it Nicola?
Nicola.
Yeah.
His team is good, but ESPN's rankings are kind of crazy. But in the fourth... Sorry, what?
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I'm thinking we should just go over, I think we're going to go over the first 10 rounds, and then we'll just kind of talk about how we filled out the rest of our team.
Okay.
Not really pick-wise, just team-wise.
So fourth round, I went Cooper Kupp. I think that was great value for him. After that, there was really nobody I wanted other than Cooper Kupp. There was Kenneth Walker, which
I really wanted Kenneth Walker.
I either wanted Cooper Kupp or Kenneth Walker, and I think in a PPR league, wide receivers are more valuable.
Yeah.
And I already had Kyron, so I was like, I can probably sacrifice a little bit worse of a RB2 to get Cooper, to get Kupp, because then let's say if I got Kenneth, then I would have good RB1, good RB2, good wide receiver 1, good wide receiver 2, but then my flexes might have kind of lacked a little bit. So that's why I wanted a good overall.
And then 5th round, who'd you get?
5th round, I started panicking, man. This was probably the only pick in the draft that I was upset about. But I panicked and I picked Ramondre Stevenson. I could have picked Zay Flowers or Jalen Waddle or,
I think Jalen Waddle was the move there. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle was definitely the move there. But I saw that I needed an RB, and I panicked and I saw him. I don't think Ramondre is going to be horrible. I think he's really the only one in that offense that can get them touchdowns other than Jalen Polk and Demario Douglas. So as a running back, I think he's actually going to do a little better than he did last year. But I don't like him as a player. I don't really like anybody in the Patriots offense. So my plan for him is to see how he does and probably trade him. Try to get try to combine him and maybe a flex or a bench player and try to get like a little bit better than RB2.
So my 5th round is probably my favorite pick in the draft. I love this guy. This was like the one guy I was drafting in every mock draft. I got Zay Flowers.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I love Zay Flowers. He's going to be so good this year.
Yeah.
I may or may not have put a little bet on him tonight. Who knows? Maybe, hopefully, he gets 60 yards. Who knows?
What's the payout?
It'd be really good if he did.
What's the payout?
You want to hear the rest of the bet?
Sure.
We could take a little sidetrack and make this podcast a little bit about betting. We got...
Don't bet, kids. It's not good for you.
Patrick Mahomes, 300-plus yards. He averages 370 against the Ravens in his career.
Okay. I like that.
Lamar Jackson, rushing touchdown.
I like that.
Pacheco, 50 yards. And Zay Flowers, 60 yards.
Rushing and receiving respectively? Or total?
Yeah, rushing for Pacheco, receiving for Flowers.
That's if they're
$3 for 30. So I'll take that.
The only thing that I see that may not happen is Lamar getting a rushing touchdown.
I think he's gonna get the first touchdown.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Henry's gonna get.
I also got. They did a little free bet. Patrick Mahomes over 0.5 yards. So as long as he doesn't pull in Aaron Rodgers, I double my money.
Okay. All right.
But they only let you put $10 on it, so
that's
10
fine.
to 20.
That's
all
fine.
Good. Back to fantasy. Just need a little betting segment.
So I like Zay Flowers.
I think Zay Flowers is.
He's your wide receiver too?
No, he's my flex.
Oh, he's your flex.
I have
Okay.
Puka and Justin Jefferson.
Okay. I think both of I think we have like very, very similar teams. Our wide receivers are cracked, and then it's like we have a good running back, and then a shitty RB2, and then a decent flex.
As you guys will see soon, my RB2 right now is Najee Harris, which I do not like.
Yeah,
I need to fix that.
I don't know about you, but I'd actually prefer Ramondre over Najee.
Oh, I would. Oh, absolutely, I would.
Moving into the 6th round.
I got C.J. Stroud in the 6th round.
I think that's a little bit of a reach. I don't know about you.
With my target was Joe Burrow.
Okay.
And he went in the 6th round.
Yeah, he got picked. But he got picked. I mean, you could have picked him because he.
Yeah, but I wanted Stroud more. But I also passed over Patrick Mahomes, which I think is something that we maybe should talk about. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to be a good fantasy quarterback. He never has been.
People have wasted 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks on Patrick Mahomes, and he puts up like 20 points a game. That's fine, but you want a player who can.
Yep.
You want a player who's dynamic. C.J. Stroud is dynamic. Joe Burrow is dynamic. Kyler Murray is dynamic. All these guys.
Who is your quarterback?
Jordan Love.
Right.
I do like that pick, by the way, but that's a.
Yes, that's a good pick.
But I don't like Patrick Mahomes as a fantasy quarterback. As a real quarterback, obviously the best one, but as a fantasy quarterback, no.
Right. But yeah, I went C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to be really good.
Do you think he's going to have a little bit of a regression this year, though, or no?
I don't, honestly.
Okay.
Just his receivers got better.
Are so good.
I know Stephon Diggs isn't the best, but it's better.
He's good. He's just a
no
diva.
Disrespect to Noah Brown. Noah Brown was great.
Yeah.
But Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, no, that's very true. With my number round 6 pick, I picked Evan Ingram. That is actually who I wanted because I wanted Trey McBride or Kyle Pitts, but I didn't really want to wait, that long for a tight end, and I was hoping Trey McBride would fall to me in the 6th, which is crazy because in mock drafts he was going in the 4th. But I picked Evan Ingram. I genuinely believe he will be a top 5 tight end this year.
Yeah, and I think it should be noted that Trey McBride was taken with the pick before you.
Yes, the pick before me. So it's okay. But I do like Evan Ingram. He's in a dynamic offense. Trevor Lawrence loves passing to him, so I like that pick.
Mm-hmm. And then while we talk, involves round 7. The reason Najee Harris is my RB2 is because you took the guy that I was going to make my RB2.
Oh, really?
You took Zamir White.
I did not know that you were going
2 picks before me.
I did not know that you were going. I am sorry. I
it was
did not know
between
you were
Najee
going
Harris
for
or
him.
Javonte Williams by the time I
I would
picked.
have picked Javante, bro.
I
I
don't
actually
know.
like Javante this year.
He's been so streaky. He's always so streaky. I
Yeah,
don't.
that's true.
So is Najee, but
Yeah. But with my round 7, obviously I picked Zamir. I needed another flex and needed a decent running back in case one of them got injured, and I think that Zamir's going to be very good this season. The only thing is that it kind of worries me. When he had those 3 games last year that were really good, they were against defenses that did not rank in the top 20 against the run. So,
is that true? Really?
yeah. So,
Huh.
I don't know. We'll see. I still
But
think it's going to be good, but we'll see.
those games that he did start were all while he was the starter. Like I think
Yes.
those 4 games where he did perform, he was the starter.
He
in
was
all
the
of
starter. He wasn't splitting carries. So, yeah.
those. And I don't know who their other running back is. I think it's Alexander Madison.
Alexander
if I remember
Madison, yeah.
correctly. So who knows?
We'll see. But worst case words, I should trade him. But yeah.
So in the 8th round, so the 7th round, I took Najee Harris. Not a huge fan of the pick, but it is what it is. I'll try and get a better RB2, but for now it's Najee Harris.
Looking back, I maybe should have skipped on Zamir White and probably picked like Terry McLaurin. Just because I think Terry McLaurin's going to be fucking great this year.
Was he still there? He was still there.
He was still there. It was between him or Zamir White. So.
Okay. In the 8th round, I got Courtland Sutton, who, if you guys watched our wide receiver video, I'm very high on this year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a great year.
He was going to be my pick if you didn't pick him.
For me, it was between him and Devin Singletary as another running back. But I thought Courtland Sutton, because I had Najee Harris. Either way, they would be my flex.
Yeah.
So I went with Courtland Sutton, who I think will perform a little better than Devin Singletary this year.
Yeah, definitely. Round 8, I went with a quarterback. I picked Jordan Love. He was probably the last quarterback that was really good off the board. I mean, Dak Prescott was on there, but
Kyler Murray was still there. That's about it, though.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
I didn't want to pick Kyler Murray just because I have him in 2 leagues. So
guess who took Kyler Murray?
Who?
Bird.
Yeah. Oh, did I? Okay. But yeah, I think Jordan Love's good. He uses his legs for touchdowns. He passes very well.
Jordan Love's always a good pick.
Yeah. So
I was watching First Take yesterday. Stephen A. Smith thinks that he could win MVP this year. So
hey, if Stephen A. saying that, then I'm not complaining.
Yeah. The 9th round, who'd you get? I actually like this pick.
Do you?
I like your pick a lot. I think he's gonna be really good this year.
So I think he's a little bit of a sleeper. I picked him on a low because he's injured right now. But Marquise Brown, people say Rashee Rice is going to be the wide receiver 1. I do agree with that, but I think that Marquise Brown could really make a run for that wide receiver job. Mm-hmm. He's young, he's dynamic, he's been good on whatever team. I know on the
he was good on the Ravens.
He was good on the Ravens. I mean, he wasn't like bad. So I think with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, once he comes back, I think he's going to be good.
Yeah. And then I ended up taking, which I honestly completely forgot I took him until I just now saw that, Tyjae Spears.
I like that pick.
Him and Tony Pollard were both there, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I would rather go with Tyjae over Tony Pollard.
I believe in the running back video that we did, I was preaching Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
I think we were preaching Tony Pollard.
We were both preaching Tony Pollard, right? Yeah.
And I did some thinking. I feel like Tyjae will get the bulk of the runs by the end of the season. So right now he's on my bench, but I think he could fit into the RB2 slot, maybe even week 2 or 3.
When we were talking about draft strategies, you always have to draft for depth after the 8th round. Once you finish your first, second flex spot, you draft for depth. Mm-hmm. So, me picking Marquise Brown, you picking Tyjae Spears, that's depth. That's if one guy gets injured, we can put them in because, who'd you get in the 10th? I do like this pick.
This is one of my favorite picks. I actually have him starting in my flex spot right now over Courtland Sutton, over Christian Watson, over one other person. I think Dallas Goedert I was thinking about. But I got Ladd McConkey here.
Okay.
He is, I believe, the wide receiver 1 for the Chargers.
I think so, yeah.
And I just think that he's going to have a really good rookie season this year. I think that Justin Herbert's going to kind of look to him because, once again, he's, I think, the wide receiver 1 I don't see why not. I guess Quentin Johnson might be, or Josh Palmer. But either way, I think Ladd McConkey's going to get a lot of touches this year. And I think he's going to kind of go in and out of my flex spot, at least to start. I might still start Christian Watson this week. I just don't like that he plays on a Friday.
Yeah.
In Brazil, I feel like it's a weird situation.
That's a very weird situation. Not starting him. But no, I agree. I think right now McConkey's very, very dynamic. I think he's going to put up a lot of yards.
I agree.
For my pick, so I was trying to pick Nick Chubb, but once again, for the second time, the guy that I wanted got picked the pick before me. So I ended up picking Austin Eckler. I love Austin Eckler. I genuinely have no idea. This was a pick and a pray because I think that Austin Eckler's a great running back. They gave him a lot of money. They did give him a lot of money. So my hope is that he'll emerge as the RB1 and then start playing a little bit like he did in his RB1 finishing season 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago now.
So that's the first 10 rounds. I think we could just kind of talk about how we filled out the rest of our bench. Mm-hmm. So first of all, in the starters, I ended up taking the Browns defense, and I wasn't paying attention during the end of the draft, and the kicker that fell to me was Cameron Dicker. Not a bad pick. Took him last year. Didn't really end well for me, but kickers are pretty easy to come by on the waiver wire. And then my bench, as I said, we got Courtland Sutton, Tyjae Spears, Christian Watson. I also have in there Dallas Goedert, Trey Benson, who I think is going to be really good this year once James Conner inevitably gets hurt. Rashid Shaheed, super fast, always a good option to have on your bench. And then A.D. Mitchell on the Colts, who I think is also going to have a really good rookie season this year.
Okay. Yeah, I genuinely like all those picks. Mm-hmm. For my defense, I picked the Steelers. I waited a little bit long to pick a defense because I'm big on, if you don't get either the Cowboys or the 49ers, stream. Just stream. Defense is not that big of a league. I am big on kickers, though. I think kickers actually can make a difference. Mm-hmm. So I had Brandon Aubrey last year. He did fucking phenomenal for me. So I ended up picking Steelers, and for my kicker, Ka'imi Fairbairn, the Texans kicker. But on my bench, obviously I have Marquise Brown, Austin Eckler, Chase Brown, who I think is going to be really, really good, Tyler Lockett, who I think is kind of an underdog this year, and then Adam Thielen fell to me in like the 13th round. I think he's going to be
I didn't even know you took him.
Yeah.
Wow, your bench is really good. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then I picked Courtland Samuel. And then on waivers that just got approved yesterday morning, I picked up Jaleel McLaughlin.
Who did you drop for that? I saw that.
Tom Brady.
I forgot you drafted Tom Brady.
Yeah, I drafted Tom Brady as a locker room morale guy, but I needed a bench spot, so. But yeah. That. So that's my bench. I'm pretty happy with it. So
that's good.
Pretty happy with my team. The only position that I'm really, really worried about is my RB2, but other than that,
same. But I feel like we can both fix that pretty
well. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, RB2 is like my roommate was saying this the other day. RB2 is like the least important position in a fantasy roster.
Yeah, I agree.
So, well, yeah, that's how our drafts went. We're gonna be doing week analysis.
It's weekly. Yeah.
So that'll come to you guys.
Hopefully on Wednesdays, Tuesday or Wednesdays. We just kind of didn't have time this week. Couldn't find the right time to do it.
But that's our draft recap. I hope you guys drafted all well, and thank you.
Enjoy the season. The season finally starting.
Well, what are you doing for your
tonight? Well,
for your annual first NFL game.
Everybody here has class till 7:30, so we're gonna get back and turn it on.
Okay, all right. I have a chemistry discussion from 7:35 to 9:35. So if I get out
there
early,
you go. See, you got class too.
But yeah, college life is rough.
Yeah, but still can't wait to watch the game. It'll be fun. Same. It'll be a good game. I think tonight's game's gonna be really good.
What's your predictions?
Ravens
score predictions.
I genuinely think I'm going to go Ravens 31-21.
Wow. Okay. Lions beat the Chiefs last year 21-20. So.
Yeah. What do you got?
I also have Ravens winning. I don't know about by that much, but.
All right. I like that.
Yep.
I think the Ravens are going to have a good season this year.
They will. I think they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, Bengals.
Really, Bengals? Okay.
Yeah. But that's something for
I think it will be the I think it will be the championship game between Bengals and Ravens, but
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the draft recap podcast. And we'll see you guys with our first week in review next week.
We pray it goes well.
Hopefully it goes well for both of us.
Who are you playing?
In which league? This one? The one we just talked about? Aiden.
Okay. I'm playing Colin.
Your arch nemesis.
My arch nemesis. This kid has been a pain in my ass for the past 3 years in fantasy.
Yeah, that rivalry's never ending.
No, never. 2-hour grave.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Peace out.
See ya.